It was only weeks ago that I was here praising Xbox's new unified library strategy and how it could reshape the console war and even redefine what a platform was. But after 9,000 layoffs, studio closures, and multiple beloved franchises quietly erased, I'm not sure I believe that anymore. I know I don't believe them anymore. I've defended Xbox before. I believed in Phil Spencer. But this is a pattern. We need to talk about what's really happening, because this isn't just mismanagement. It's the dehumanization of game development. And if this keeps up, we won't just lose jobs. We'll lose the very soul of gaming. At this rate, forget the console war. I don't even know if Xbox can survive itself. Let's break it down. Basically, we have now had announced so far 4% or 9,100 or so jobs gone. At Microsoft, and heavily hit is Xbox, the Xbox division, and Xbox Studios. As a result, there's at least one studio closure. Some other studios are, I would dare say, crippled by what has now come on, and we've now had games canceled as a result of it.
Perfect Dark remake. It's a beloved franchise. Anytime a game that people are looking forward to gets canceled, I'm pissed for them.
We also had the Initiative is completely shut down, no longer exists. We have a large number of layoffs coming to High Moon Studios, also along with Perfect Dark getting canceled, which was recently just kind of re-announced about a year ago. I think it was that they dropped the trailer and letting everybody know it's coming. And now it's gone. And then there was a game called Everwild, which was being developed by Rare. And that, Rare, great history of phenomenal games. And of course, right now, Sea of Thieves. But Everwild is now canceled. And this is just February of this year. Phil Spencer went out in an interview and said,
because I was recently out at Rare, it's nice to see the team with Everwild and the progress that they're making.
It's been a while.
You know, it's another one that it has been. And we've been able to give those teams time in what they're doing, and which is good, and still have a portfolio like we have. It's like a dream that Matt and I have had for a long time. So it's finally good to be there where we can give those teams.
This all started at the end of June, so we did not go far before that didn't mean anything anymore.
That's why his statement today, where he said everything that was named or announced in the showcase is still safe, and I was like, okay, whatever.
For now, maybe.
Yeah, right.
So that's one thing. And there's one more final spit in the face to go along with this story. But before I get to that, I do just want to say this. I am a fan of Phil Spencer. He's one of the few executives that's actually a gamer. He actually does play games. He actually does care about games. He is Uncle Phil.
Doesn't badmouth Sony. Doesn't badmouth Nintendo. In fact,
classy guy.
In fact, longs for a day when we all just get along and work together.
If you're finding value in this video, we would appreciate a like. It means the world to us, and it really helps us out in the algorithm. And if you really enjoy what we do here, please consider giving us a subscribe. Now back to the news. But that said, this cannot be seen as anything other than an absolute pattern of failure. This is just the latest in a string of absolute failures. And don't get me wrong, he was handed a show after what happened with Xbox One, but this doesn't happen at Sony. Sure, some things happen at Sony, some things don't work out. We've got Marathon, which is an absolute trash fire at Sony-owned Bungie right now. But to this level, this does not happen at Sony.
No, it doesn't.
Something's not clicking. Something's not being managed properly. Terminating all these people across multiple studios. You've got games that are struggling. And it seems like every single time we have a first-party Xbox game, there's nothing but rumors and stories in the background about how it's struggling. How Everwild had to be rebooted from scratch. Same thing for Perfect Dark. We heard a lot of stuff back in the background about how that development was troubled. We had so many of these games. Every time there's an Xbox original, it's just, it seems to be marred. It's just plagued by mismanagement. I don't know, Phil's job is to go to these places and say, like, hey, where are you hitting resistance? What are you running into? Let's ease that path. What problems do we need to solve for you? We're Papa Microsoft. We're Daddy Warbucks.
I hate to say it, but it sounds like he was delegating a lot of that stuff down, and then he wasn't getting good feedback from those people. Like they were probably doing the whole, yeah, we got it. We're taking care of it.
It makes me sad. Every once in a while, there will be something like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That is great. It's an Xbox exclusive for the time. Okay, great. But for the most part, it just seems like troubled development after canceled game, after shut down studio. It's just awful. And this is the insulting thing. After all of this, it was leaked that Microsoft had sent out this email invitation to heads of their studios they're going to be attending Gamescom. There's going to be a Gamescom thing,
Right.
And they're going to have this panel about how AI can be utilized to be more efficient. They were sent out these invitations to ask these studios to participate in this.
I don't like where this is going.
Literally hours after some of these studios were gutted of what made them great. I hate this.
Yeah.
It's
Dude, 9,000 people. That's a lot of people, man.
4%. It's 4% of Microsoft. And Microsoft is a massive company.
It's half the town I live in.
I know that a lot of people are apprehensive of AI coming to games, but it's one of those things that unfortunately, just like the movies, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. There's nothing we can do to stop it, but it's a matter of how it governs itself. We will lose a recognizably human element to a lot of the stuff. Like if they're going to be having AI do something, I mean, there's still some things that you can watch and be like, that's AI. That AI did that. It just seems weird. I think there might be some of that stuff where we will be able to recognize some of it. I just don't want to support. I don't want to support stuff like this, man. Like it makes it really hard.
I don't either, Mason. I really don't. I'm with you on the fact that it's a way of life now and it's got to happen. And I don't mind if they're using it in ancillary roles.
Yeah.
For support stuff, like, hey, we need AI to come up with the credits list and we need, whatever. I don't like it when we've got AI acting because I've heard that in a lot of Steam early access games and it is horrid.
Maybe that will kind of create some form of self-regulation just because the product that we get is noticeably inferior.
Yeah.
What I kind of hope that they would use AI for would be something along the lines of, let's say we have an environment artist and they are working on this environment for the game, and so that they can focus on more important tasks to direct their attention to, use AI to be like, hey, give me some code so that when the wind blows, the grass sways or something like that, where it's like, instead of this guy wasting 12 hours, 24 hours of his life in work time and trying to do this and figure out okay, you do that. And then I will work on this really intricate maze that I'm supposed to be creating out of rocks here to map this out. And I don't know, but something like that, where it's like, okay, something menial that will allow an actual person more time to dedicate their talents to more important tasks within the game. Okay, that I could see being useful. And like I said, AI is coming one way or another. That would be a way where I'll be like, okay, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Like you said, I want it to be a tool used by these people instead of a scab used to replace them.
Yeah, and I'm all for that, and that's fine. The human stuff needs to stay human.
Yeah, because
stuff.
Those are the kinds of things that could reduce crunch. And that kind of thing, where we've got people working overtime, days and nights, working weekends, giving up.
That part I definitely get.
As we near release dates, and if we could give the developers more time to do the important stuff and take the load off of these menial tasks, making the grass move, make sure that the rocks are showing that the rain's hitting it, and this and that. All those little things, get those out of the way for these people to let them do the more important heavy lifting. I'm sure we're now going to be not far from having a call where Xbox and Microsoft announce record profits after laying off these 9,100 people, as is their way.
Yeah.
So, and apparently they've invested like $80 billion in AI or something like that. I hate that it's happening. I hate to see people losing their jobs. And I hate this march towards the dehumanization of games, because it's hard enough to try to make the case with some people and some media and all that stuff about how games are art. And it's been a long fight to have people consider or even make the argument for games being art. And then if it's being made by AI,
which is sad to me.
There's no argument anymore. It's not art.
Yeah. It's absolutely sad.
Thank you so much for watching the entire video. I'm sorry that this wasn't exactly the feel-good, jokey ones that we usually do, but let me know if you agree. Do you think that Xbox is gone, that it's lost its soul, that there's no coming back from this, and it's just going to get worse from here? Or do you think that this is just a bump in the road, they're going to turn it around, and things will be back to normal in no time? Let me know your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed this, you'll definitely enjoy these videos too. And those will have jokes. I'll see you soon.